Well, hello. It is 11 p.m. and here I am at the deserted Davis Amtrak station. Now, first things first.
Oh, yeah, I live here now.
That's right. I am a proud first-year Aggie. I'm at UC Davis, and I'm here waiting for the Coast Starlight because I have exciting plans tonight. You remember how in August I took a rail pass trip with my dad? Well, when we finished that trip, I still had 3 segments left on my pass, and I also coincidentally have 3 days of validity. So join me as I adventure to the town of Eugene, Oregon. Now, first things first, why did I choose Eugene? Well, I chose Eugene because of the way schedules worked out. The Coast Starlet arrives in Davis around 11:30 and arrives in Eugene the next day around 12. This is perfect for me because then I can get some sleep and I don't get up at an outrageously early time. And the return train leaves Eugene at 5 p.m. and gets back to San Jose, which is where I will be getting off, around 10 in the morning. So another good night's sleep. So that's one reason. Second reason is Eugene is the southern terminus of Amtrak's Cascade service. This is the train that runs from Vancouver, British Columbia to Eugene, Oregon. And while I'm there, I plan on filming a Cascades train as it enters and leaves the station, hopefully. And thirdly, Eugene is home to the Emerald Express bus rapid transit system. This is a very interesting system in my opinion that is worth traveling 13 hours in each direction to get to. So yeah, it's currently nighttime and I will see you tomorrow early in the morning. Well, we are now in the town of Klamath Falls, about 2 hours late. Something about a stuck vehicle on the tracks earlier held our train for 2 hours just south of here. So that's cutting my visit time in Eugene down to about 3 hours now instead of the 5 I originally thought I had. But yeah, uneventful ride so far. Back on the train. And Eugene, Oregon finally arrived 2 hours late. Well, unfortunately, because of the Coast Starlight's massive 2-hour delay, I won't be able to do what I came here to do, which is ride the Emerald Express BRT. However, what I do have some time for is a little bit of walking around, get some lunch, and come back to the station to wait for my train back home. So right now it's about 3 o'clock. My train comes at 5. I want to be back at the train station by 4:30, so that way I can see the Amtrak Cascades depart towards Seattle. Eugene is also home to its Saturday market, and oh boy, today is Saturday. Eugene's Saturday market is wildly Oregon. I saw somebody selling handmade paper. Eugene is also home to the Oregon's famous Voodoo Donuts. Well, I bought 2 Voodoo Donuts, and it looks like I do get to ride the MX today because I noticed that there is a Subway sandwiches near MX station, so I will be hopping on that to go buy lunch. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything all day. So, as with any good BRT system, there's pre-boarding fare payment. I bought the half fare pass, but I gotta say these ticket machines were impossible to read. So my first impressions of the MX are that the ticket machines are really hard to use. Like, it was a little confusing for a new rider who had never used it before. But then another sign of the BRT is that it has a raised platform for level boarding. So the thing I found most interesting about Eugene's MX is that they use single tracking, single laning extensively. And I thought that was cool. MX also uses island platforms, and they chose to solve the door problem by getting buses with doors on both sides. So that was also pretty interesting. I won't be able to survey the entire route like I originally imagined that I'd be able to, but it was still nice to get a little taste of it. Yeah, it's a good system. It was one of 4, I believe, to receive a bronze ranking by the International Whatever Board that determines what a BRT is. And yeah, good system. This dedicated 2-lane bike infrastructure is pretty nice, I gotta say. Alright, bought my Subway sandwiches, and now it is time to head back towards the train station. And I'll be able to use the MX for this again. Down there, the bus is single tracking. It's proceeding on the way that my bus went, just in the opposite direction, in what's traditionally the suicide lane. It's got a bell.
This bus continues as MX to Commerce Station.
Well, off of the MX, and now it's time to go back towards the train station. Yeah, I definitely like the system. It reminds me of a light rail more than an actual bus system, which is really what you're going for when it comes to BRT. So, good job, Eugene. So now I'm walking back to the Eugene Amtrak station because I want to film the Cascade service, which will be running to Seattle. And why is it special? Well, because Cascades is an Amtrak service that's run using Talgo coaches. I made a video about the Series 7 that was retired earlier this year, but they've been replaced with the Series 8, and I've never actually seen that with my own eyes. So that's what today's special feature train is gonna be. I think it's pretty cool that there's bike link lockers here. I just can't use my Clipper card on them. Platform is currently deserted, just waiting for the Deadhead Cascades to come in. It's about 4 right now. The train leaves at 4:40, and my train comes half an hour after. So this is it. This is the Amtrak Cascades. Talgo E8 series. Now what's interesting is that the Talgo uses articulated sets with only one wheel in between each car. This is to allow for higher speeds than they do in some European trains. Some higher speeds we reach over here. These seats on the interior look really thin. It's interesting. It's interesting that there's stairs for better boarding access on ground level platforms like this. Now, what I like most about the E8 series is the cab. It looked derpy in pictures, and it's so much funnier in real life. Much like most of Amtrak's corridor routes, they're getting rid of the F59 PHIs and replacing them with Siemens Chargers. Seattle. Now that the Cascades is out of the way, 30 more minutes, and my train will be here to take me home. I'm hoping that the Starlight today is less crowded than the train I took up here because they were doing assigned seating when I got on at Davis, and I got an aisle seat. So, fingers crossed I get a window seat today. Well, after 2 hours here, I can hear my train in the distance, and it's time for me to say goodbye to Eugene. Bye, Eugene. Window seat has been secured. So one particularly cool thing is that you'll see that Train 11 has no baggage car in the back. This means I should be able to enjoy the rear view tomorrow when it's light. 9:40 p.m. and I'm in Klamath Falls, Oregon again. We've arrived 20 minutes early, so it's a bit of a fresh air break before we cross the border into California. And here's my train in all of its glory. Assuming everything runs on time, it should be about 12 more hours, and then I will be pulling into San Jose. Since this is also the last fresh air stop of the night, this is where I say goodnight. So goodnight from Klamath Falls, Oregon, and I'll see you tomorrow in California. Well, good very early morning from Sacramento. It's currently 5:45, and our train is almost an hour early, which is kind of shocking considering that this is Amtrak and my train to Eugene was over 2 hours late. Yeah, it's dark. I want to go back to sleep. Updates to follow. I was turned down from being able to get a picture in the front of the train. This is a not poggers moment. Okay, I need sleep. Brief stop at Emeryville, station I've been to so many times before. Oakland, Jack London Square. And in my opinion, the next section of the line between Oakland and San Jose is the most interesting because instead of traveling via Hayward and Fremont Centerville, the Coast Starlight uses the Union Pacific Mulford line, and this runs via Union City. And it's a line that only the Coast Starlight uses instead of Capital Corridor, so I find this really interesting, and I'm excited to see what happens. So it looks like we won't be traveling via the Mulford line like I thought we were. Kind of sad, but this is actually rarer, I think, so cool. Over there, that's the Mulford line, the one that I thought I would be taking. Travels straight across the Y. And what I'm on now is the Capital Corridor line, which is, it's rare to see a Coast Starlight go down this line. That goes town of Drawbridge. Houses sinking in the mud. I was there. So I've hiked all the way to the end of the Mallard Slough Trail to show you guys Drawbridge. arrived at San Jose Diridon right on time. Thank you, Caltrain. Thanks for joining me on my weekend trip to Eugene. Had a good time, glad it didn't cost me anything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.